Hello everyone, I'm Superintendent Steve Gratto and I am very excited to welcome everybody back to school for the 2022-2023 school year. What a great year we're going to have. Now I'm thinking back 2 years ago at this exact time how I explained to everybody because of the COVID pandemic we would now be having students stay in individual rooms while wearing masks and teachers would come to them. What a difficult year that was. And I can think back to a year ago where we said, well, students can move around now, but they still have to wear masks, they still have to social distance. Things have changed. Here we are going into this school year and COVID restrictions have diminished greatly. We no longer have to wear masks, we no longer have to be cohorts, social distancing is not required. So we're hoping and we're thinking that this is going to be a year that is much more normal than what we've had in the past. So there is a lot to look forward to. We are excited. The teachers have been here working very, very hard. Support staff has been working hard. The custodial staff's been working all summer to make this school beautiful and ready for students to come in on September 6th if you're a CB Tech student, but most people September 7th. So I'll take you for a little walk around the school and try to show you what we have prepared in store for you. So one good thing about Schroon Lake Central School is we have a one-to-one device program, which means pretty much every student in the school has their own dedicated Chromebook or iPad. And on the first day of school, students will be able to pick up their Chromebooks, all depending on which grade they are in. Now you may remember years ago, we used to make students put their Chromebooks back in these Chromebook carts at the end of the day so they could only use them in school. But then when the pandemic came along, we decided we needed to let them go home, and that's worked very well. We want all students to take very good care of their Chromebooks. We want all students to follow the acceptable use policy that they will sign on the first day of school, which explains all the things that they can do with Chromebooks. In particular, of course, they must be used for educational purposes. So on the first day of school, students will be able to go to their first period class and they'll open up the Chromebook cart, and in here we have all the Chromebooks. So this is the 12th grade cart outside Mrs. Corey's room. All the 12th graders can pick up their Chromebook on the first day, and then they are theirs to take care of for the rest of the year. Thank you to our tech guy, Mr. Johnson, for all the hard work it took to take all the Chromebooks, get them all updated, and get them all put in the right spot. And now we're sitting in Mr. Paradis' social studies classroom, and I'm admiring the nice job the custodians did polishing up the floors here. It looks great, and that Mr. Paradis has spent some time getting his room looking good. Now you're probably wondering who Mr. Paradis is. He is one of the many staff members that we have hired this year. We've hired some excellent new staff members to replace departing staff members. In the middle school, high school alone, you will have Miss Carey as your Spanish teacher. Mr. Paradis will be your social studies teacher. Ms. Bonanno will be your life science teacher, and Mr. Jones will be your French teacher. So there's a lot of change this year. Change is good, and I think you're going to really enjoy the new staff that we have brought on board. So now we're standing in the middle school, and near these beautiful middle school lockers. Now for some of you students, you're sixth graders, you've never had a locker before. Hopefully you came to student orientation night so you could learn how to open your locker and meet your high school mentor. Anyway, here we are at the lockers, and inside this locker is whatever you want to keep in it. Now I'll be honest with you, we don't require that students lock their locker, but sometimes it's a good idea because inside this locker is my cell phone. And that's what we're going to do with cell phones this year because we're no longer going to allow cell phones in the classroom during classes or in study halls. So no cell phones in classrooms or study halls, so you'd probably be wise to keep them locked safely in your locker while you're in class. And that's true for high school and middle school and elementary. So here I am looking out at the north entrance to the school. And you can see out there, it looks a little different than it did in the spring when we all went on vacation. What you see is a cement platform, and under that cement platform is a new 10,000 gallon fuel tank, which is great because the old one was 30 years old and needed replacing. However, our project is not completely on schedule, so we're going to find that it is impossible for you to use the north driveway of the building as it has been all summer long. So we're hoping that this will all be completed very soon, but for the start of the school year, no one will be able to drive on this side, so students will enter the school building by the cafeteria entrance on the south side, or of course you can also enter through the front door if you're a walker or if you're being dropped off. So a little bit of a different start to the school year. We're hoping that we'll have the old situation the whole driveway that goes around in a semicircle in place very soon. All right, we're approaching the elementary school now, but I want to stop and show you this very nice bulletin board. This bulletin board represents the theme in the elementary and probably middle school and high school this year. The theme in the elementary will be kind with a B theme, something we can all agree that this is an important thing to be. And so around this building all year long, you're going to see a lot of bees, and I think the kids will enjoy this particular theme. All right, while we're in the neighborhood, I want to give a shout out to our guidance counselor, Ms. Corallo. Wonderful energy, great person to have in the school, great help to students. So students, if you ever have a problem with your schedule or just something you want to talk about, come see Ms. Corallo. And oh, by the way, we have two new staff members who have offices right near here. We have Ms. Sieber, who is our special education director, and Ms. McFarland, who is our school psychologist. All of them are a great resource for you. All right, here we are sitting in front of the nurse's office, an important spot. Most students will sit on this bench at one time during the year, waiting to see the nurse. We have a new nurse this year. The much-loved Miss Kelly has retired, and she's been replaced by Miss Rooker, who is cool, and you'll like her a lot. This is her office right here. And she's in charge of keeping everybody safe. So let's talk a little bit about COVID. You cannot come to school if you have any of the COVID symptoms. So keep that in mind. Don't come to school with COVID symptoms. We want everybody in school as much as possible, but we also want to make sure everybody stays safe. If you get COVID, you would then have to go home and stay home for at least 5 days, and the rule still applies. When you come back after 5 days, you would have to wear a mask for the next 5 days. So COVID rules somewhat still in effect. Ms. Rooker will answer any questions you might have. And don't forget, we are a nut-free and shell-free district, so please keep your peanut butter home. Thank you. So here we are in the 5th grade classroom in the elementary wing, and it's going to be a great year here. You can see that the new 5th grade teacher, Miss Kramer, has put a lot of work into getting the room ready. We do have a lot of awesome new teachers here in the elementary. Miss Kramer in 5th grade. Next door is Mr. Rice, the 4th grade teacher. Down the hall, take a left, and you'll be in the 3rd grade room where we have Miss Ortruba. In 2nd grade this year, we have Miss Hartwell, who was our math interventionist last year. So Miss Hartwell is your 2nd grade teacher now, and Mrs. Shaughnessy will be your math interventionist for the year. In addition, we have Miss Bessie, who is a teacher's aide, and we have a new reading teacher, Miss Gilman, and we have Miss Fleming, who finished up the year for us last year. So lots going on in the elementary. It's going to be a fun year. I don't think I missed anybody. Thank you to all the elementary parents and students who came to the ice cream social last week. It was a wonderful event. It was great to see everybody working together as a team, and great to see kids having fun. And that's what it's all about. Students are going to come to the elementary, have a great time, and learn a lot. And here we are in the kindergarten room, sitting in these abnormally small chairs. Miss Hafner, I should mention the other elementary teachers. Miss Hafner is your kindergarten teacher, and she's decorated a room with colored chairs. Let's not forget Miss O'Connor, who is your 1st grade teacher, and Miss Root, who is your pre-K teacher in the elementary. And oh, by the way, when I was mentioning aides, I forgot Miss Amanda Gray is going to be a teacher's aide in the elementary. And I didn't mention her because she was our permanent sub last year. But now she's not the permanent sub. Mr. Paul Trimble is our permanent sub. So a lot of great people coming to work at Scroon Lake this year. All right, here we are in the auditorium, probably my favorite room in the entire building. Now, Scroon Lake Central School, built in 1935, obviously a very beautiful building. We appreciate all the hard work that goes into maintaining it and all the taxpayers who contribute to our beautiful building. The auditorium might be my favorite spot because so much good stuff goes on here, like the always popular spring musical, like all of our theatrical productions and our musical productions. This is a great place to be, and therefore I want to make sure that you understand, students, that it's important that you get involved, because there are lots of extracurricular activities at Scroon Lake Central School, and it's important that you get involved because being involved in extracurricular activities really makes you the complete student. We want you all to get involved and have a good time. And community members, please make sure you come too. We have great sporting events, concerts, theater. We want this building to be used by our community as much as possible. So make sure you get involved. And now I'm going to show you a room up here that's pretty interesting. So I want to show you this room because it sort of represents some things that are very cool about this school. We offer a lot of great courses at Scroon Lake Central School. Some that small schools our size often don't offer. We offer great electives such as we have a new Model UN class this year, and we have a very popular videography class which is taught in this room. And you may recognize this scene right here. This is where the bi-weekly news report is done every couple of weeks, and so a lot happens in this room. So high school students, as I mentioned a moment ago, make sure you're involved with extracurricular, but also make sure that you are taking a challenging list of courses that'll make you marketable for future business opportunities or for colleges. Maybe your career is going to be technical and you go to CV Tech. That's wonderful. We have a lot of students going to CV Tech. We have a lot of college courses. You can leave Screw and Lake Central School with over 40 college credits if you put yourself to hard work. So please consider taking really tough courses, but also consider taking fun courses that are going to teach you things that you're interested in. So here we are in the band room, and this is very exciting, a true sign of the times. Because 2 years ago, this was the 4th grade classroom. And 4th graders were not allowed to go anywhere but this classroom because of the pandemic. And last year, this was an add-on to the cafeteria, so we had to spread students out 4 to 6 feet so that they could eat lunch. And now, finally, it's back to being a band room. And people are pretty close together. I've seen up to 47 kids in this room, and we're going to have a great band again. It's going to be great to have everybody back playing together. I'm sure Mr. Tracy is all excited, and I can't wait for our first concert coming up. So here we are in the gymnasium. This is where our tour ends. Also a beautiful room, love it. I just want you to know that school starts on September 7th, and we want you to come back ready and excited to be here, have lots of fun, and learn a lot this year. It's going to be a great year. Can't wait to see you.